Welcome to Module 2, Symptoms, Crisis, and Triggers. Now that we understand what sickle cell is, let's talk about what it actually does in everyday life. Because many people living with sickle cell can look completely healthy on the outside until a crisis suddenly happens. That's why people often misunderstand the condition. Someone may smile, go to school, work, laugh with friends, play, and a few hours later, they are in intense pain. A sickle cell crisis is not just ordinary body pain. It happens when the red blood cells change shape and become hard and sticky. Instead of flowing smoothly like normal red blood cells would do, they can block small blood vessels. Think of it like traffic on a busy road. If too many cars block the road, movement stops. That's similar to what happens in the body. The blood struggles to move properly and some parts of the body don't get enough oxygen. That blockage can lead to severe pain, extreme tiredness, weakness, fatigue, shortness of breath, organ stress over time. For some people, the pain may feel like deep bone pain, meaning the person is experiencing bone crisis. Others describe it as sharp pain, aching pain, stabbing pain, throbbing pain. These pains sometimes they take over the whole body. Then over time, it localizes on parts of the body like the chest, the arms, the back, legs, or even your head. Most of the times, this pain is characterized by tenderness and swelling or inflammation of those parts of the body. Extreme case scenario, stiffness of the joints and over time, infection of the blood, body and abscesses as a result of the infection. For example, abscesses on the body as well as abscesses in the bone. And sometimes the pain can become so serious that the person needs hospital care. Let me give you a personal example. When I was a kid in primary school, I had a severe crisis one season, and it was so intense that my arms got stuck together in one position. I could no longer straighten my arms freely. It was stuck together like this, and it was also tender and inflamed. I was not only on pain management and treatment, but I was also on antibiotics treatment and physiotherapy and massage therapy to help get the arms to unstuck and restore flexibility once more. The antibiotics was to treat the abscesses and the infection and the form in the other form of my elbow at that time. I gradually gained flexibility back in my right arm fully and my left arm not so completely 90%. I had enough pain. That's how I decided I had enough pain and didn't want to continue the physiotherapy. And again, so I was stubborn. But the pain too will get you that way. So let's explain some of the triggers in the practical term. Now here's the important part. Crises are often triggered by everyday things people may ignore. Dehydration. When the body doesn't get enough water, the blood becomes thicker, making it easy for the sickle cell blood to clump together. That is why sometimes something as simple as not drinking enough water during a busy day can become dangerous. Also, drinking excessive amount of water when your blood percentage is low also triggers crisis. For example, someone spends hours outside on the sun, attends classes, work all day, travel without drinking enough water, like do whatever you like. By evening or before you know the person is in crisis, or by evening the person is in crisis, or by afternoon or by midnight the person is in crisis. Another thing is stress. Stress is not only emotional, it can also be physical stress on the body. Too little sleep, overthinking, emotional pressures, constant worrying, PTSD, menstruation and loss of blood during the menstruation period is another trigger. The menstruation pain triggers crisis because you lose a lot of blood. All this can affect the body and increase the chances of a crisis. That is why rest is not laziness for some people, for people with sickle cell. It is part of treatment. Infection also is another trigger. It forces the body to work harder. Even something people call just malaria, just fever or flu can become serious for a person living with sickle cell. The body becomes weaker, oxygen levels drop, crisis can happen faster, or it can warn you and gradually progresses into a full-blown crisis. Also, look at weather changes. Very cold weather, heavy rain, or sudden temperature changes can also trigger pain episodes. For example, some people notice increased pain after being soaked in the rain, staying too long in the cold or cold environment, or extreme heat like the summer heat, or moving from extreme heat to sudden cold like cold air conditioning environment. It triggers crisis. So management is not accidental, it is intentional. Living with sickle cell often means paying attention to small daily habits that other people may not think twice about. Imagine someone wakes up feeling perfectly fine. You're going about your day with no cares, no worries. Then they rush out of the day, no breakfast, very little water, stress from work or stress from school or from a boyfriend or from a friend, maybe standing under the sun for too long without any shade. By afternoon or by night or in the middle of the night or breaking of dawn, that person is in severe pain. What changed? Sometimes it wasn't one big thing. It was several small things that added up. That's how sensitive this condition can be. This is why people living with sickle cell are often told to stay hydrated, rest properly, avoid extreme stress, treat infections quickly, listen to your body because sometimes your body will warn you. Treat pain quickly too. So the chances of infection setting in reduces because prevention is often better than waiting for crisis to happen. So pay attention to these things, think about and reflect on it. And this is the question I want to leave you with so that you can ponder on. What are some daily habits people usually ignore that could affect their health without realizing it? And for someone living with sickle cell, why do you think those habits matter even more? Understanding triggers gives power. The more someone understands their body, the better they can reduce avoidable crises and improve their quality of life. So next time, we'll talk about practical ways to manage sickle cell daily. Thank you.